it's a great timeline to invite Cory, right? Cory from Recruitics. Is he online? Can we get him on stage? Cory Kapner. Yeah, well, he joins. Fun story. Cory reached out to me on LinkedIn years ago when we first met. And I thought that I would never want to talk to this guy. And we turned out to be very good friends afterwards. That's a fun story, which people probably don't care about. Hey, Cory, how are you? You're on mute.
It's just his charming is speaking right now.
Yeah.
It was up. So thank you for having here in the Middle East, visiting family and friends, and I'm typically based in Amsterdam, so I am hiding away from the cloudy rain, and really excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining. You're also not that easy to listen to online. Like you don't do a lot of events or conferences, so we're very thankful that you joined our little event. I'm very excited to hear what you have for our audience.
Anything for a good friend, Alex. Anything for a good friend. So, just a quick background. I came out of university, out of college, ran a full desk of recruitment, joined Indeed in the very beginning, and then I've been with Recruitics since inception. So, I've been here 13 years, held a lot of different roles, lived a lot of different places, and I focus on sales and partnerships. And Martin really stole a lot of the thunder around the predictions in programmatic recruitment. My predictions are about the how, and it's a bit more tactful. So one click applies my first prediction, and Recruitics has already launched a handful of products. He is spot on, Martin, around social media and the job aggregators and one click apply native inside of those environments. But for direct employers, which the majority of companies we work with are big FTSE 1000, big bureaucratic layered organizations, they expect these applications to go straight into the applicant tracking system. There's a difference between HCMs or human capital management systems, CRMs and ATSs. And what our clients want to see is a higher quality candidate, a little bit lower volume because of all the bot traffic, but it's one click applies to really optimize the conversion rate. Media spend has been going down year after year after year. And that's why you see a lot of the vendors kind of tighten up their budgets. And for us, we want to make sure that we are driving the high quality applicant where they're at. And meeting people where they're at is exactly what Martin was talking about, social media and major destinations, whether it be a job aggregator, job board, job site, hiring platform. A lot of the programmatic players are working with the vendors, the job boards, the job sites to make sure that it's a seamless process. So we've launched a handful of products that not only goes into the HCM system, but then goes into my second recommendation or prediction. It's optimizing based on quality of applicant. And instead of just focused on programmatic advertising, it's really programmatic hiring. And so if one vendor gives you 10,000 applicants and you only hire 3, whereas one other vendor gives you 50 applicants and you hire 40, we're going to want to invest money into the better quality source. And so getting ATS feedback or HCM feedback using webhooks or unique IDs like candidate IDs or email addresses and having that information pulled gives a programmatic provider the ability to optimize across the channels. And the networks that we work with, programmatic providers should be treating them like customers. And as we diversify the media spend, because one corporation never, I use never intentionally, never wants to be reliant on one source, it's important to give everyone a fair shot. And based on quality, the best source should win. A little bit of a macro prediction in my last one is that there's going to be a lot of consolidation in 2026. There are programmatic providers out there that only offer programmatic advertising. And with budgets going down and vendors changing commission structures for those standalone programmatic advertising platforms that are a little bit more transactional, they are seeing a big decrease in revenue. And automation is not really helping because some of the vendors are not as sophisticated as others with their backends and data collection and spend collection. So they need to evolve and offer new services, new products, new solutions. And companies that also have recruitment marketing agencies adjacent to the programmatic platform have pivoted to not really focus on agency life anymore. It's more, what can we do as a platform, as a SaaS solution? And it looks better for the customer, it looks better for the vendors and the programmatic providers that used to skim off the top or really just operate based on the media commissions that some of the job aggregators and job boards will provide. That's all changing as things tighten up. So you're going to see a lot of acquisitions. You're going to see a lot of people disappear from the market. And you're going to see some acquisitions that have already occurred. Those companies will no longer exist.
Wow.
That is a lot to process.
I need like a day off to think about it, and write it on a whiteboard. Just think about it. Wow. Thank you, Cory. Amazing. Amazing.
Thank you, Cory. I think I have a question here. When we talk about the hiring quality, do you think this would be based on human evaluation from the other side of receiving the application? Or do you think there could be some AI automation in the middle to assess the quality?
It depends on hype versus adoption. And, to us, we are preparing for both. And what I mean by that is there's a bet that's going on within the industry. AI capabilities, is that going to exist inside of the current ecosystem, right? Where you have Workday and UKG and all these legacy HCM systems creating marketplaces, and where customers can just turn on the AI capabilities to help source and screen, qualify, so on and so forth? Or will the bet be outside of the HCM or ATS system, where it's going to be a third-party platform that the recruiter, the talent acquisition team will bring in and integrate? But there are vendors out there domestically in the US, globally around the EU, and even in the APAC regions that are taking wildly different approaches. And so the jury's still out, as long as the technology is audited. And so there are cool companies like FairNow and Warden, and some believe in it, some don't believe in it. So the jury's still out there. We'll see what the leaders at these corporates will really preach at every conference, because that's typically how you create a category. Programmatic job advertising wasn't created out of fluff. There was a real need. CRMs, candidate relationship management systems, those systems create a whole new category that required a career site, required a better candidate experience, because nobody wants to go 50 minutes through the application process. I think the jury's still out for us, given some of Alex's posts around the hype of AI. I'm led to believe it's going to take a lot longer than we all think.
One last question, Cory. If I operate a job board, right, how do I position myself best for this brave new world of quality that you are describing? Because hands down, job boards up until now were not really interested into that, right? It was about driving clicks. And now you have to think about quality. So how do we do that?
Well, from an attraction standpoint, I think where the traffic comes from is changing. So there are solutions and there are theories that you can optimize on the Gen AI platforms. So if you can get yourself indexed and attract people that way, I think it's brand new and a unique selling proposition. Working with programmatic providers for the one-click applies, native applies, and making sure that you can send over the spend metrics in a timely manner. Transparency is king, and corporates really want to see the vendors measured against one another. So making sure that your technology and your analytics are up to par. And then maybe controversial, but the 4 clicks to one application and the arbitrage is really hurting the job board brand. And so when job boards spend money across different sources and traffic sources, they're not really retaining a loyal candidate. It's a quick transaction and there's no candidate loyalty. So I would say really cleaning up the application process and cleaning up the delivery would behoove all parties involved.
Thank you. Now we can go back to the pool, have a cocktail, an alcohol-free one. It's probably 40 degrees on your end anyway, right?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Cory. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining.